Okay, let's discuss on the fractional and negative indices. So before I can talk about the fractional and negative indices, first of all, we are going to revise a little bit on the multiplication and division of indices. So if we have, let me say a, if I have a raised to power 2 multiplied by a raised to power 3. So once it is multiplication, we add the power. That is the rule. Once multiplication, we add the power. So this simply gives us a raised to power 2 plus 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5. We have a raised to power 5. So what this simply means is that in this case, a power 2 simply means a into 2 places, a times a. And a power 3 simply means a into 3 places, a times a times a. So let's count then. We have this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this gives us a raised to power 5. Okay, now in the division, if we have a raised to power 2 divided with a raised to power 3, once it is division, we are going to subtract the power. So this simply means a raised to power 2 minus 3, and 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Okay, let's expand it. Let me see what we have. This division, I can put it in numerator denominator form as a fraction. So this means a raised to power 2 divided with a raised to power 3. So a raised to power 2 divided by a raised to power 3, this also is a times a, and the denominator is 3a times a times a. So if we divide this, can find out that this can cancel out this, give us 1 1. This cancel out this, give us 1 1. So not again in the numerator. Numerator is 1 over the denominator gives us a. You can see, look at this 2. When you look at this 2, which is the negative power, you find out that both of them are the same. So what we are trying to say here in general is, if we have a raised to power minus 1, that this simply means 1 over a. So in that case, if we said, if I have something like let me say 5, if I have something like 5 raised to power minus 2, what this simply means is 1 over 5 raised to power 2, which is 1 over 25. That is the reciprocal, because negative indices is just a convenient way of writing the reciprocal of a number. So for us to write the reciprocal of a number, we use a negative indices. Okay, so let's look at this question now. If we're asked to simplify x, 5x power 2, let me have this, and also simplify 5x power 2. Now you look at this, they are not the same. The first one, if you ask to simplify this x is the one that has this minus 2, so this is one we look for the reciprocal. Now this will now be 5 all over x power 2. While in this case they are in bracket, which means that 5 and x are both minus 2 with the power minus 2. So this will be what? This will be 1 all over 5x all raised to power 2. So once you remove the minus sign in there, you are looking for the reciprocal of the number. Okay, so let's look at roots before we go over to the fraction. We have to note that if we have something like a raised to power 1 over 2, a raised to the power 1 over 2. What this simply gives us is the square root of a. If we have a raised to the power 1 over 3, this means the cube root of a. If we have a raised to the power 1 over 4, this means the fourth root of a, and so on and so forth. So if I have a raised to the power 1 over n, so what it means here is the n root of what? A. The n root of a. So you can see that in all these ones I'm putting a 3, 4, but here I don't have to put 2 because 2 already is a square. So square 2 means this is just a square root, that means 2. So when it's greater than 2, we now indicate it. Okay, now in this example, supposing we are asked to simplify, maybe we are asked to simplify, we have to simplify let me say 49 raised to the power 1 over 2. To simplify this, what I have to do is, since it's 1 over 2, what it means is the square root of this. So what I need to do here is to find the square root of 49, and the square root of 49 is what? 7. Or if you are asked to simplify 8 raised to the power 1 over 3, what we need to do here is to find the cube root of 8. And what is the cube root of 8? The cube root of 8 should be what? 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 into 3 places is 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, so what if we have something like a? If we have something like a raised to the power m over n. If I have this is another big law of indices. If you have something like this, what you need to do is always know this is a fraction, and in this fraction we have this to be the numerator and this to be the denominator. Denominator is used for the square, the root. Denominator is root, while numerator is the power. Know that, just memorize that. Denominator is root, numerator is power. So here, if you ask to find this, that means that I'm looking for the n root of a, then all power what? M. That's what we have here. Example, maybe asked to simplify or solve something like 49 raised to the power 3 over 2. If you have to find this 49 raised to the power 3 over 2, know that the denominator is root. So since it's squared, I will find the square root of 49. Numerator is power. I will find now the power of all. You see that? So this simply gives us what? The square root of this is 7. 7 raised to the power 3 gives us 343. I think so. So in the same way also, if we are asked to simplify 8, simplify 8 raised to the power 2 over 3. For us to do this, we always know denominator is the root. So since it's 3, I am looking for the cube root of 8. Then numerator is the power squared. The cube root of 8 is 2. We have 2 squared. So 2 squared is what? 4. So that is how we find that type. Now let's look at a little bit fractional form. If we are asked to find something like simplify in a fraction 16 over 25 all raised to the power 1 over 2. For us to solve this here, 1 over 2 means the square root. That means that this will give us the square root of 16 over 25. That gives us the square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 25 is 5. So this gives us the answer. Okay, now let me give another example on this. Supposing this is minus, simplify 16 over 25 all raised to the power minus 1 over 2. For we to get rid of this minus, we must find the reciprocal of this number. So the reciprocal of this number is the inverse of it. The numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes denominator. That's just the system we use. So this will simply give us 25 over 16 all power 1 over 2. In this case, I have removed the minus sign. So since it's 1 over 2, denominator is squared, therefore I'm going to look for the square root of 25 over 16, and that gives me what? 5 over 4. That is the answer. Okay, so in the same way, let me give one more example. If we are asked to simplify 125 over 64 raised to the power 4 over 3. So in this case, if you have to simplify this, I have denominator is the root. That means it's 3. I'm looking for the what? The cube root. I'm looking for the cube root of 125 over 64, and the numerator is now the power. Whatever I have, I'm going to power it 4. Now what's the cube root? The cube root of 125 should be 5, because 5 times 5 times 5 gives us 125, and the cube root of 64 should be 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So we are going to find to power 4. So to power 4 means 5 raised to the power 4 should be 5 raised to the power 4 and 4 raised to the power 4. That's what it means. So 5 raised to the power 4 is 625, and this raised to the power this is 256. So this is the answer. Okay, let me use a negative sign, the last one. If I have 125 over 64 all raised to the power minus 4 over 3. Now this minus sign, for me to remove this minus sign, I'm going to look for the reciprocal of this. Now this will now give me what? The reciprocal of this now gives me 64 over 125 all power 4 over 3. You can see I have removed the minus sign by looking for the reciprocal of it, and this simply gives me what? Denominator is the root. I'm looking for the cube root of 64 over 125. Whatever I have there, I'm going to find the fourth root. So this is, we have this to be the cube root of 64 is 4, and the cube root of 125 is 5, all raised to the power 2. 4. So if we simplify more, we have this to be, this into this is 256, and this into this is 625. So you can see the answer there and there is just the inverse because of the minus sign. That gives us the end of this class. So please, after watching the video, try to press the subscription button and the bell button so that you'll be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. Thank you guys. See you next time.